Okay, my name is Katrine Volynsky. I'm a sports nutritionist, wellness coach, heavy metal detox specialist, and an author of books Staying Alive in a Toxic World. I'm also a Chernobyl survivor and a Fukushima researcher, and I've been helping people around the world understand the radiation issue better, the information that is behind it, and also the solutions that everyone can do for themselves to understand this issue and also to protect themselves and their children. Of course, how I got into this whole journey was of my personal health issues. That kind of started with my exposure in Chernobyl to radiation. So my whole family was in Chernobyl when it happened, and we all got affected. Pretty much everyone in my family had cancer. We all been touched by cancer, but I've been extremely lucky not to have anyone in my family die or, seriously be left scarred for life, let's say. I myself did not get sick until, really sick, until I was in my teens. And after Chernobyl, we were also living in an area that was getting 40% of the fallout in Belarus, which was far away from Chernobyl itself, but it was still getting a lot of the fallout. So it just tells you how far it can spread. You don't necessarily have to be in the epicenter. So when I was 16, I was experiencing a lot of hormonal issues and extreme anemia. I actually died physically. I was clinically dead. After bleeding basically internally, also caused by endocrine issues. Now they were of course connected to Chernobyl and radiation. Finally, I just found myself totally, completely falling apart. I was coasting through my early university days and first jobs, but I was still not feeling good. I was always chronic fatigue and just always having some kind of issues, and finally my body just gave up and started rapidly falling apart, and no one could help. Basically, the medical community said that if I go at the rate I'm going, I'll probably have a couple of years to live, and that was not an option for me. And I basically stopped everything I was doing and sold everything I had and started investing into my own health and trying to find solutions how to rebuild my body. Figured out it was still radioactive particles in my body, and found all the damage that was done by radiation and my lifestyle coupled on top of that. And finally found some things that worked, and some things that were just amazing, and healed myself and became a natural health practitioner. So I've had an intimate relationship with radiation and nuclear industry for a long time. I wouldn't say that you should be in fear. Fear is the worst place you can be in, because there is no energy in fear to be able to make a change in your body or in your reality or in the environment around you. Definitely don't want to be in fear, and running away from a problem is not going to change it. So we have to look at solutions, and we have to also teach responsibility about the environment that we had created. I think it's very silly of us to create a place that is contaminated like it is now, and not to teach our young ones and not to teach ourselves of how to be thriving despite all the stuff that we had created. Because if you're not clean inside and if you're not healthy, how can you affect the health of the planet? How can you clean up the mess that we have been mistakenly creating? So that's what I feel we should be focusing on, not running away, but creating solutions and creating ways to clean up our oceans and air and water and food. We just have to come together into using them and creating a different space and different world where we focus on solutions rather than on blame and hate and pointing the fingers.